He wasn't flashy. He wasn't theatrical. He wasn't chasing headlines. Karl Malone was built. Built in weight rooms. Built in repetition. Built in discipline. Most players chase moments. He chased consistency. Consistency compounds. Compounded effort builds greatness. He didn't just play strong. He trained strong. Strength is not an accident. It is accumulated stress applied intelligently. He lifted relentlessly. Conditioned relentlessly. Prepared relentlessly. Preparation builds durability. Durability builds longevity. Longevity builds legend. He played nearly every game, year after year, night after night. Availability is underrated greatness. Talent without durability fades. Durability sustains dominance. He didn't rely on explosive flash. He relied on repetition. Same mid-range jumper. Same pick-and-roll execution. Same disciplined footwork. Repetition builds mastery. Mastery builds inevitability. Inevitability intimidates. Defenders knew what was coming, but knowing didn't stop it. Because repetition creates precision. Precision creates confidence. Confidence eliminates hesitation. Hesitation weakens defense. He formed one of the most reliable partnerships in NBA history. With John Stockton, trust built over years. Years built on repetition. Repetition builds chemistry. Chemistry wins games. He understood something powerful. Simple done perfectly beats complex done inconsistently. He didn't complicate scoring. Set the screen. Roll hard. Seal deep. Finish strong. Hit the elbow jumper. Repeat. 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 He valued conditioning. Fourth quarters were not panic moments. They were endurance tests. Endurance favors the prepared. He trained to outlast. Outlasting wins tight games. He wasn't emotional publicly. He was disciplined internally. Internal discipline sustains output. He didn't let early playoff losses fracture him. Losses are not identity. They are refinement. Refinement requires accountability. He refined footwork, refined balance, refined defensive positioning. He aged but didn't fade, because conditioning extends prime. He didn't party through seasons. He trained through them. He respected routine. Routine stabilizes performance. Stability builds consistency. Consistency builds all-star seasons, year after year. He didn't seek validation. He built output. Output silences noise. Noise fades. Production remains. He was physical without apology. Physicality requires commitment. Commitment requires identity. His identity was work, discipline, repetition. He played through pain, through fatigue, through criticism, because identity matters more than comfort. Comfort breeds decline. Discipline sustains edge. He didn't need highlight reels. He needed results. Results build reputation. Reputation builds respect. Respect sustains legacy. Now internalize this. You do not become elite through bursts. You become elite through repetition. You do not sustain dominance through emotion. You sustain it through routine. You do not build longevity through hype. You build it through discipline. Say this internally. I build through repetition. I value conditioning. I protect my routine. I refine my fundamentals. I show up every night. I choose durability. I embrace consistency. Because greatness is not explosive. It is accumulated. And repetition builds legacy. Your mindset is your edge. Consistency builds greatness, but championships test it. Regular season dominance is repetition. Playoff basketball is compression. Fewer possessions, tighter defense. Higher stakes. The margin shrinks. And when the margin shrinks, identity gets tested. Karl Malone carried Utah deep into the playoffs multiple times. But the finals exposed the smallest gaps. Facing Michael Jordan and the Bulls meant facing precision, facing inevitability, facing pressure at its peak. Pressure reveals cracks in routine. If your discipline is surface level, it fractures. If it's embedded, it holds. He didn't change who he was under pressure. He leaned deeper into it. He relied on the same mid-range, the same footwork, the same strength, but championships demand mental stillness. Stillness under pressure sharpens execution. There were moments where the ball slipped, moments where the game tightened, moments where history shifted. And critics amplified those moments. Criticism can poison identity or reinforce it. He chose reinforcement. He kept showing up year after year. Training the same way, lifting the same way, conditioning the same way. Routine under heartbreak is resilience. Resilience sustains legacy even without rings. He didn't crumble publicly. He didn't lash out emotionally. He returned to the gym. Return builds character. Character sustains output. And here's the deeper lesson. Not all greatness is measured by titles. Some greatness is measured by endurance, by durability, by showing up when disappointment repeats. He played long seasons, deep runs, heavy minutes, and he stayed in elite shape because conditioning is commitment. Commitment builds identity. Identity protects confidence. Confidence under criticism is rare, but he maintained it. He did not allow narrative to define him. Narrative is external. Routine is internal. Internal structure blocks external noise. He kept running the same pick and roll, kept attacking mismatches, kept trusting preparation. Trusting preparation eliminates panic. Panic makes rushed decisions. Rushed decisions lose championships. He didn't panic. He stayed disciplined. Discipline is calm repetition. Even when stakes rise, even when cameras zoom, even when critics wait. Now understand this. The pursuit of the ring tests ego. Ego demands validation. Discipline demands continuation. Continuation builds respect. He didn't quit when the goal felt unreachable. He didn't coast into decline. He extended his prime, extended his body, extended his effort. Longevity requires sacrifice. Sacrifice builds durability. Durability builds legacy. He eventually chased a championship later in his career. Joined the Lakers. Still disciplined, still conditioned, still prepared, even when age crept in. Preparation extends competitive life. He wasn't chasing glory, he was chasing fulfillment. Fulfillment requires belief. Belief requires routine. Routine sustains effort. Now internalize this deeper layer. Success is not only defined by rings, it is defined by standards. Standards define work ethic. Work ethic defines output. Output defines respect. Respect defines legacy. Say this internally now. I stay disciplined under pressure. I trust my routine. I refine after loss. I protect my conditioning. I separate from narrative. I show up consistently. I build durability. I pursue greatness relentlessly. Because repetition under pressure builds resilience. And resilience defines legacy. Your mindset is your edge. Greatness is not loud. It is consistent. It is not built in highlight bursts. It is constructed in repetition. Day after day, year after year. You do not become elite through emotion. You become elite through routine. Routine protects your edge. Routine stabilizes performance. Routine eliminates randomness. Random effort produces random results. Disciplined effort produces legacy. You show up whether motivated or not. Motivation fades. Standards remain. Your standard does not negotiate. It does not depend on applause. It does not depend on validation. It depends on identity. Identity built on discipline does not crack under pressure. You train when tired. You condition when others coast. You refine fundamentals when others chase flash. Because flash fades, repetition compounds. Compounded work creates inevitability. When others doubt, you repeat. When critics speak, you condition. When losses sting, you refine. Loss is not the end. It is adjustment. Adjustment builds growth. Growth extends prime. You protect your body. You protect your routine. You protect your sleep. You protect your strength. Because durability is competitive advantage. Availability wins more than hype. Being present night after night is dominance. You do not wait for perfect conditions. You create preparation. Preparation eliminates panic. Panic ruins execution. Execution builds legacy. You understand that championships are not always immediate, but standards must remain immediate. Immediate discipline creates long-term greatness. You do not rush success. You build it steadily. You do not let criticism define you. You let repetition define you. You do not abandon your identity after setbacks. You strengthen it. Say this internally now. I build through repetition. I protect my routine. I value conditioning. I stay disciplined under criticism. I refine after loss. I show up consistently. I outlast doubt. I extend my prime. I embrace durability. I commit long-term. Because greatness is not explosive. It is accumulated. It is sustained. It is protected daily. You do not measure yourself only by trophies. You measure yourself by standards kept, standards maintained. Standards defended. You choose consistency over comfort. You choose discipline over distraction. You choose repetition over recognition. Because recognition fades, but routine builds legacy, and durability defines greatness. Your mindset is your edge.